5:48 on CHEX, daily time for Teacher. It is mid-November. Kate Winn is here, blogger, teacher, and mom of some awesome kids. Are they organized?
They are. They're getting there.
That was nice.
Yeah, they're getting there.
So what does organized mean to you when you're talking about your kids and schoolwork?
So a lot of it has to do with routines and having places for things. So we basically set the kids up as best we could so that they knew what was expected of them. So organization is a skill and it can be taught. It comes more easily to some people than others. But so for example, with our girls, when they get home from school, they come into the mudroom, there's a hook for each coat, there's a hook for each bag. They know exactly where their stuff's supposed to go. And that's what parents can do, is make sure that the kids know exactly what they're being expected to do. And so that when they come in, their agendas go in a certain spot on the counter, the dishes from the lunch just go right into the dishwasher, and they know exactly what to do to be successful.
Now, but it also spreads into the classroom as well. I mean, if you can keep everything organized at home, then more likely you're going to see your kid a little more organized when they're going to school, and you'll see that on your end as well, right?
Absolutely, and a lot of that has to do with getting kids to take responsibility for their own things. So even with the planners, it's their job to come and ask the parents to sign them. It's their job to make sure everything goes back in the backpack. I know sometimes even parents like to wait until the kids go to bed if they need to fill out paperwork or write checks for things or whatever. Leave them out on the counter in the morning, and the kids still have to pack up their stuff, and then they know what's in their bags and they know where everything is.
So I guess that's a good point too, is that parents helping draw the line or create that field of responsibility and accountability for young people, because kids do like to know that they get to be in charge of something.
Yeah, absolutely. And for things like getting ready, I mean, we see it at school and you see it at home. That's often a place where you see kids not being so organized when it's time to get everything together and go. Schedules are amazing for that. Whether your kid's old enough to read a written schedule or visual schedules with pictures. That's something we did when one of our daughters was in daycare and one had started school. We had a little schedule on the fridge with pictures showing brush teeth, brush hair, all of those things, or even at night, pajamas, all of that. And we even had a reward system. So if they checked off a certain number of things, they got a reward at the end.
Now, all of the parents, they want their kids to be organized and to have that kind of that base structure moving forward as they move through their school career and new relationships. What is the benefit for the parents to have their kids organized?
Well, it certainly makes your life simpler and easier if the kids are organized when you're trying to get out of the house in the morning or when you're trying to do things. And it's also nice to know that your child is set up for that sort of success when they have it together. And I mean, sometimes it doesn't matter if a kid's organized and creativity, and sometimes, you know, parents like the kids to have messy rooms if that's what their style is. But sometimes it's about the parents, and we're the grown-ups, and if there's certain things we want done in our homes, we want the kids to follow suit.
I find sometimes that it can be the difference between an enjoyable morning on the way to work or school, or something that's kind of like tense for everybody because it's that last-minute rush for things.
Absolutely, and it's hard for kids sometimes to see the value in it.
Yeah, it's not fair, I think, to put the pressure on them when you, the parent, haven't set up a way for this to go smoothly.
For sure. So I mean, if they start to see, sometimes even the rewards, time with you is a reward to them. So if you can say to them at night, well, because you did X, Y, and Z, we have time for an extra story. Or because, you know, you got all of this done and you're organized, then that means we can do this. And sometimes that's a nice reward for them too.
That may not work into teenage years, though.
No, well, personally, I use screen time, and that seems to work. Okay. You know, if they get their things done, they get their TV time, and if they don't, they don't. So that can help too.
Okay, great.
This is Kate Winn. We're going to have more tips on getting organized in just a couple of weeks. Thank you very much for joining us this week on
Thanks
Teacher.
for having me.
All right, let's finish things off with Kaylee.